Okay, hi guys. So Hobbyman Mike here for Amigos Model Works. In light of the group build coming up, the Mega Mech Madness build, um, I got in the mail today something I've had pre-ordered for a while. This is the SM.03, the Rinaldi Studios by Mike Rinaldi, Rinaldi Press. Um, it's the third in a series of model specific technique guides, how-to guides, etc. The other two that I have in the series that are available is SM1, where they talk about the Industria Mechanica, the fish model, and SM2, where they do the tractor model. Okay, so this is the third in the series. I've had this pre-ordered for about what's going on, Andres? I've had this pre-ordered for about, I want to say, 3 or 4 months now. I got the entire set for $15 a piece, which is a great, I thought, a great price for what you get in here. They get great reviews, and they obviously shipped the first two, and then this one came shortly after. So I just got this in the mail today. It's got slightly wet. The mailman left it on the porch, and it's raining cats and dogs here. So unfortunately, a little bit of cover damage, but nothing major. So in respect of the upcoming group build, I thought it would be good to give you sort of a little preview. I've thumbed through, I read a couple of pages. I haven't gone through the entire book, so this is not a review, so to speak, but more of a preview. And maybe you guys will see something that you might want to go out and get this particular book, because it'll assist in this build that we're going to do. So great reference material, the pictures and some of the techniques. And Mike Rinaldi's quite the artist. If anybody has seen his work or followed his stuff from the Tank Art books, et cetera, et cetera. So without further ado, we'll go through. What I like about these particular books is they focus on one subject. In this particular case, he focuses on the Sazabi. He does it custom with a little bit of add-ons. And so in the introduction, I read this earlier today, he talks about switching gears. So maybe some of you out there that are military builders would be interested in reading a military modeler saying, I'm going to switch gears and I'm going to do some books on some mech, because mech is something that the technique can be applied and vice versa, back and forth. So he talks about that a little bit in here. It's actually a pretty good piece, just about changing your principles, some of his paint choices and why. He talks a little bit about the Bandai plastic. I don't know if anyone has been privy to that, where Bandai plastic can react to certain paints and oils. He talks a little bit about that in there. And then his philosophy on actually weathering, and what principles he's going to apply to this particular book. A little bit about technique proficiency, I should say, in the hairspray technique. Now, a lot of people talk about the hairspray technique. I've seen it talked about everywhere on every model channel, everyone's reviews, but he goes into depth and talks about the process and what you should do, which I thought was great. I mean, to get firsthand and to explain it with the variable results and just different techniques and different brushes, I thought that was pretty good. I've never seen it explained quite that thorough before. So one of the unique things that he did in this book was he actually got a practice subject. So he's never done mech before. So instead of ruining a $100 or $150 Sazabi, he decided to go out and get a 144th Rick Dom Tropin kit. I'm not particularly familiar with that Gundam, but it's similar to the Sazabi. It has similar lines, so he went out and built that, and talks a little bit about the test subject. So he built this particular test subject just to test his techniques that he's going to apply to the Sazabi later in the book. And John. Okay, John, I'll see what I can do. I'll get you a link. It's Rinaldi Studios, bud. Rinaldi Studios. I'll get you a link, though. So the test subject. So he goes through some different things with the test subject, just getting it prepped and painted, and testing his different techniques He talks about, building in sections. Any professional Gundam builder, like my man Ivan out there, he has a biggest piece of advice that should stick in everybody's mind is build sections. So build legs, build torso, build arms, build the body. I mean, it makes a lot of sense to do it that way with the way that the Gundams are put together, where you can snap and remove the parts, and then you're not handling all of the model at the same time. It's actually a pretty valuable piece of advice. He talks a little bit about that in here. So more and more about the test subject. I'm not going to get too in. It talks about the hairspray technique and testing the different areas. He really goes into depth about what he plans to do before he actually does it. Gets into some oils. Talks about a new brand of oils that he's using. Again, more on oils in the test subject. Really good photography as well in this particular book. What I noticed was he really got in with the detail and really highlighted specific areas. You can't make that out on camera, but he's highlighted specific areas that he's talking about as he goes. And again, there's almost 5 pages on just testing the oil, so you can imagine the depth that this is going to go through. Lots of before and afters. I really like that. And then we sort of get towards, again, more testing. More testing. And then we get into the Sazabi custom. So this is where the book gets specifically into the build of the Sazabi unit, okay, and his final product compared to the regular product. So the base model with no paint. The Sazabi is awesome, I have to say. This is going to make me buy one of these. I don't have a perfect grade in my stash, my collection, so I think I'm going to have to get a couple of perfect grades. I have my eye on the newest one that's coming out, the ZZ Tokyo Model Detective, Mr. Darren. I spoke to him. I'm going to pre-order that for sure, and I think I might have to get a couple as well. So a little bit about the assembly. And again, I didn't read too far into this, so this is kind of going to be the first time I maybe see some of these pages myself. So he talks about building the sections, and he does go right into, selection and that type of stuff of building in sections. For any of you who don't know, the perfect grade Gundams, and I believe that maybe the master grades, they have an inner skeleton you can kind of see, and then the armor pieces themselves snap onto the inner skeleton. So it makes it easier to do this technique where you can paint the sections and then put the armor on without having to mess with it. And you can get the level of detail that it goes far beyond your normal Gundam, your 1/144th scale. All about assembly, and then the final assembled model with no paint. Lots of good photographs. I really like the way that he's photographing all the angles. So about paint, I noticed he's using all mission models paints, something that I've never used before. I don't have a lot of experience with that stuff. I know they're sort of new out there. They're making a large presence. I see more and more people using them. The mission models line of paints. I'm not sure what the advantages or disadvantages will. I'll be sure to read this and see what the deal is, and maybe have to go buy some more paints. We can never have enough paint, right, Stan? Can never have enough paint. So, first stage primer. I have to be honest. This mission models primer looks pretty good. Pretty good. Whether it's his technique or whether it's just the primer itself, but those parts look amazing, just primed. So, talk a little bit about mods. I really like this. He got some steel braided line or some fiberglass braided line, and that really adds quite a little bit to that. That would be a great idea. I never thought about that before. I'll definitely be adding that to my repertoire. Priming and painting. Talks about tinting primer and using different paints, and then applying hairspray after the paint. Getting into the masking and accent colors. pretty in depth with the paint job and pretty in depth with the photographs of what he's done to get that particular paint scheme. Doing assembly, and then we get into the weathering section. So at this point, the painted model, no weathering, just the beginnings of the blank canvas, if you will. It's hard to say. That would probably take, 50 or 60 hours to get to that point and then put another 100 into weathering, but it's definitely possible. So a little bit about the hairspray technique again, and this is applying what he tested in the beginning of the book. I did read a little bit into this and see he gets a little bit into the heavy weathering in certain areas. Great again, step by step, piece by piece, multiple photographs, multiple descriptions. It's not just a showcase of one product or one technique. He's really showing you how to get good results, and he's documenting it as he goes. So lots and lots about the hairspray technique and different parts. There's probably 20 pages in this book about the hairspray technique and chipping, and I have to tell you that it's definitely something that I'm going to experiment here shortly. Chipping, decals and masking, and getting into the markings. I noticed he did this is a custom paint scheme, more military-esque, so he got more into like tank type markings and the weathering of those markings. It's awesome paint, I have to tell you. Awesome paint. Gets into the detail work, the thrusters. Those are actually available in metal add-ons if you want to spend some extra money. I've seen that. Looks like he went for the stock ones here. Weathering, more about weathering. This is getting into oils and the application of oils. Lots and lots and lots of pictures, lots and lots of details of the different blending techniques and applying the different colors. More on the oils. So there you go. 5 pages just on, oils around the feet. I can give you the scope of the amount of detail that he's put into this book. For $15, I got it for. They are available. I think it's $25 without the discount that I got. It's $25, brand new. Creating more effects. Great detail. Great photos. You can see each particular step is documented and talked about. And that's just the feet, guys. So, more and more. Final details, decals, I guess, and the different techniques everywhere. Good photography. Whoever does this photography is pretty good. Streaking. Got to do the streaking. I'm doing streaking. So showing off some of the final work. Awesome job. I don't know if you can pick a lot of that up. Awesome book. So again, this is SM.03. It is available from Rinaldi Studio Press. Right there. There is the ISN number. It is the I can't make him not focus. Bandai Master Grade Neo Zeo Mobile Suit Gun Verka. It's 1/100 scale. Okay, so right there, that's the book. Just to give you guys sort of a teaser, some inspiration. Again, it is the third in the line of what he's calling the single model line. They focus on one particular model rather than a bunch of different models with product, which I really enjoy. And just in lieu of, other reference material out there, there is this particular. Oh, man, I dropped it. Hang on. There is other books as well. This is another great book. This is Josh. So I got some questions out here. I wasn't even looking in the screen. So what are those, Mike? Josh, it's a line of books, and you can go back and watch this. It's going to be on the Amigos Facebook page. I'm going to leave it up there, and we're also going to put it on the Amigos YouTube page. For all of you not subscribed, please subscribe. Thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever you want. It's good. We don't give a monkeys. So this is the newest book in the SM line, Josh. SM1, SM2, and SM3. They are model-specific guides to building and weathering and getting a fantastic paint job. And again, anybody who just joined, you can go back and watch this. I'm going to leave this up. And again, this is to inspire people for the build coming up. So this is the other book that's also out there that focuses a lot on mech, the In Combat book. There's a lot of reviews out there on this book, so I'm not going to go crazy with showing everybody today. The differences that I feel between this book and, say, this book, this tends to be more of an advertisement for a certain person's product rather than a display of techniques, but there's still some fantastic information in here. This is an awesome book to have. It's a great reference guide. It also holds your desk leg up very well if your desk wobbles, so you can check that out. This is actually going to be my inspiration for building the little teaser here. There's a little teaser for what's going to be my build for the mech build. So again, guys, SM3, it's available now. It might be a little hard to get in the next week or two because I believe he's doing pre-orders. It is from Rinaldi Studio Press. I'm going to put a link to the website here on my final video once it's posted for anybody who's interested. And don't forget, Amigos Model Works Mega Mech Build starting September 1st. This is hosted by my man, Ace Models, Ivan, awesome Gundam builder, and we thought we would jump it off, and Ivan's going to donate a fantastic prize. Please get involved, guys. Couple quick shout outs to Legend Low, that guy. Oh, you can't see it, but Stan, Amigos Model Works, Lane Low Hobbies, Andres Dominguez, Stan, Mr. Vats Codling, Maker Mike, aka Hobbyman Maker Mike. Again, the admins and the founders of Amigos Model Works, but not to say that it's our channel, it's your channel, guys. It's everybody's. This is for everybody. So let's get involved in the build. Let's get going on inspiration. Go out and get the book if you feel that that's something that would inspire you to do something better. And that's really all that I've got. Thanks for watching. Let's see. There we go. All right, guys. No more questions, so I'm going to bid you farewell.